My name is Stephanie Remick, and I am the Director of Experiential Learning at Washington Leadership Academy. I wanted to provide you with an overview of the internship program for the 2019-2020 school year. The whole purpose of our internship program is basically to allow our juniors to explore their current interests, uncover unknown interests, and ultimately narrow the focus of their pursuits once they leave us. So we're looking for community organizations, whether they be nonprofits, private companies, or government agencies, to provide a professional experience for our students so they can begin to think about what it is they want to do once they leave high school. Here is a brief overview of what happens each month during the school year. Internship officially launches in August with the internship preparation course that takes place on Fridays throughout the school year. In September, we offer an opportunity for organizations to come into the school to share their opportunity directly with students. October is solely dedicated to interviews. November is when both the organizations and the students learn the final match for the interns. December is our onboarding day. And December, you'll notice, is the onboarding day, but February is when internship actually begins. We allow for this lag time because we know some organizations, especially our government agencies, require a lot of background checks, or students need to get TB tests done or get medical records if they're working at a hospital. So we want to ensure that our students have enough time to get all of the necessary paperwork completed. That's why there's this gap between onboarding day in December and the actual start of internship in February. January is going to be focused on the students preparing for their initiative projects, which is something that we'll go into more detail on the next slide. And then February and March is when our internship actually begins. So students are slated to go to their internships on Fridays in February and March. April we're using as a midterm review where students will actually come back to campus. This is different for those of you that participated in the program last year. There are only 2 Fridays in April when Washington Leadership Academy is open, and we decided that this time would be better used having the students review their initiative projects to date and also review the feedback that they're getting from their supervisors. So April is essentially a pause in the program for the organization as students come back to campus to do a midterm review. Then May will be dedicated again to internship with the students going back to their assigned offices in May. And June is when the program ends with the final evaluation. So as an internship supervisor, some of your responsibilities are listed here. The biggest thing is making sure that you're communicating attendance to ensure our student is actually going to their internships when they're with you February, March, and May. We are responsible for communicating student attendance every day of the week to the Office of State Superintendent of Education, or OSSE, and so we really need to make sure that you are letting us know if the student is in attendance when they're at your office. The next big thing is approving and overseeing the initiative project. And this is going to be a little bit different for those of you that participated in the program last year. Previously, we had the initiative project be an assignment that the student came up with completely on their own, and it was supposed to supplement the work that the student was doing at the organization. However, what we found is that sometimes the students were doing the work that their supervisor gave them in lieu of the initiative project, or the students' initiative project became the only thing that they did while at their internship. And what we'd really like to see the initiative project become is a collaboration between the student and their supervisor about what it is that they can be working on that would be helpful for the organization. So we would like you to have some ideas of some things that students can work with. We would like students to come with some ideas of some things that they're interested in, and we'd like you guys to work together to put that together to come up with one project that they can work on. So for example, maybe you are an organization that would really like the student to do data entry for different programs or projects that you have going on in your company. The student, however, says they're interested in website design. Maybe what can happen is the student does the data entry and uses that data to report it out in a creative way on a web page that they create for your organization's website. And that would be a great initiative project for the student. Aside from those first 2 things, we also expect our supervisors to complete evaluations. This is also a change from last year. Last year we had supervisors complete evaluations monthly. This year, we're only going to do a midterm evaluation in April and an end of internship evaluation in June. Some friendly reminders: students are unpaid because they are eligible to receive community service for their internship. And students are also not required to get a lunch or a lunch stipend from the office. They can pick up a lunch if they'd like from Washington Leadership Academy. So how do you become a host supervisor or identify your organization as an internship host? The big thing is making sure that you complete the online registration form on our internship webpage. Once you've completed that form, you also need to sign the host organization contract in DocuSign. And then finally, we also need some liability insurance coverage, which comes in the form of an Accord Form 25. This form lists WLA as an additional insured, basically saying that if anything were to happen to the student, that the organization's insurance would cover the student, and then WLA's insurance would come into play. So those are the three pieces that need to be completed in order to fully register as a host organization. If you have questions, I encourage you to reach out to myself. Here's my email, sremick@wlapcs.org. I'm actually about to go out on maternity leave, and so in my place, Adrienne Williams, the Managing Director of College and Career Department, will also be a point of contact for the program. And her email is awilliams@wlapcs.org. All of the information about internship, including the handbook, program calendar, and registration form, can be found on our internship webpage, which is washingtonleadershipacademy.org/internship. And if you scroll down to the center of the page, you'll notice there's a section for host supervisors. On it includes, as I mentioned, the internship registration form, the contract is already there, the handbook, and the program calendar. So the registration form is just simply a Google form. It has red asterisks here where you're asked to input all of the required information. Here is the host organization contract. It's something that you're going to need to sign in through DocuSign, but that's what it looks like. The handbook reviews everything that I just went over, but in a lot more detail. And as you can see, this table of contents is linked, so it will take you to different sections of the handbook so you can read about different aspects of the program. And then, like I said, there's also the internship program calendar, which has all of the important dates highlighted with more details about what happens on each specific day. So again, if you have questions about how to get involved, please feel free to email me or Adrienne Williams. Thank you for your interest, and we look forward to working with you.